Okay, Falling Skies. Let's see if can I get back up to 2200 against the Sicilian as well. Very popular, isn't that Sicilian at the moment? Don't tell me G6. Right, let's just try. Right, let's go into what people think it gives them the white advantage. I'm not so up on the theory, so I'm probably not going to get an advantage, especially in this line. I think it's just about. Do I get a tiny advantage in this line? I don't know. Oh dear, oh dear. Probably not. E5. I'm pleased if he closes diagonal. It's all theory. I think it's all theory. Might have misplayed it already. I don't know. Bishop C5. So if I take on D5. No. What does he play here? Does he know the theory? Is he supposed to move the rook? Alright, exchange sack. So, I vaguely remember a recent game. If I just maybe bring the bishop back. Bishop B5. Should I just take on F8? Hope for the best. If I take on F8, I just hope for the best. C4. Well, let's try that. I'll get slaughtered probably. If I play for C3. Is it slaughter time for me? How do I get the fair? Is C4 an interesting pawn sack? Actually, because it takes, I get access on the D file. Not really sure. Something like B3 for a moment. It's going to open up that diagonal and play Queen A3. Right. How do I get solid here? Get this H4 moving for rook H4 to A4. Would that be an idea? It's going to play Bishop F5 and threaten rook B3 at some point. So, well, okay. A4 and Bishop B5, is that out of the question? D4 Bishop B5. If I get in H5 and H6 and then rook H4. Is it safer to play A5? A5, I don't really like A5. A4. Let's carry on with this. I think for H6 goal hanging pawn. Then rook H4 and rook A4. I'm going to get mated on A1 if I'm not careful. So rook H4. Stops rook H4. Haven't got much counterplay here. It's Bishop D3. I don't think we're getting smashed. Or rook C1. Maybe rook C1. I can't believe C4. G4. Try and kick the bishop off diagonal with G5. FallingSkies. Best2 He's only played on the 5-minute auto pairing. Okay. Actually, if I take, isn't there a tactic on Queen D8 if you're not careful because of the girl hanging pawn? So if I take, what's the idea of that? I was going to have Queen E5, maybe C3 though, coming up. Actually, Queen E5. So bishop. I'll play bishop. Actually, bishop E2 for a moment. I don't think bishop C4 does anything. Yeah, that looks pretty winning. I'm gonna have to lose B3 and play E3. It's looking a bit desperate, to say the least. Okay, I want to get to play Queen D4 here. Is that possible? Queen E1, that's all pretty miserable. Queen B2? What about Queen B2? At least I stopped B2. I don't think this is the ideal way to play against the dragon, Sicilian dragon. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. No counterplay still. It's got ample compensation with the exchange. It's totally winning. Bishop B5 and A4. No idea. Bad idea. I don't think that's going to help because it's got Rook A4 coming. I'll do it anyway. He's going to make me with Bishop F5. C4. I'm getting mated. Embarrassing. Okay, I'll give him that. So Rook A4, I don't think I'll play this line again. Oh dear, oh dear. So takes, and then Bishop F5 is going to be crushing. Oh dear, that was a disaster. That's how not to play in this line. I have to look at the theory of this, for sure. So accepting exchange sack is a bad idea here, Bishop F8. So I need to find out what happens here if I'm going to play this line again. Intimately aware, or we can go straight to ChessGames.com for a look up here. Actually, it's so bad. I'm wondering also, did he have knight C3? No, knight D8. So Bishop D4, so Bishop E6. This looks nasty already, very nasty. And that would be a good line to play with black, actually, this early D5. So the early D5 was because I didn't play Bishop C4. If I played Bishop C4, maybe, yeah, it's a little salty, it prevents the early D5, which seems to give black an interesting game. I need to know this line, so I'm going to go and look it up on ChessGames.com and put it in the addendum of this video. A bit dramatic, this loss, but maybe it's instructive. Thanks very much. Okay, theoretical addendum. So the choice between Queen D2 and Bishop C4. Bishop C4 might discourage D5. So the way I played it, Queen D2, black's got that D5 available. In the game, did he play it here? ED, No, I'm not sure. Actually, that's only one game. I'm not sure that happened. Did I not see another move first? Knight c6. I think there was knight c6 as well on castle queenside. So castle's queenside. So that's two alternatives: either castle queenside or bishop c4. Again, to sort of prevent d5s from black. They're about the same percentage wise apparently, but bishop c4 is more popular historically. So castles, now this d5 move is main line. So I took main move, knight d5, taking on c6 takes. Okay, so I took on d5, which apparently, actually this pawn is shielding the king actually, technically. So maybe taking on d5, that's why it's not played as much. So there's a few things to explore here. Bishop d4, e5. This looks much safer for the white king, bishop c5, with the pawn on c6. It's not daring to take that. An exchange sack idea is similar to the game, but it's avoided with knight e4. That's a key move. 163 games, knight e4. So this pawn's helping the king, and taking there is helping the dark squares. So I want to keep this bishop shut out of the game, and with a counterpart anyway. Prophylaxis is just having that bishop counterpart. So here now h4. This is much safer than the game. If there's ever going to be f5, maybe knight g5. So h4. So this, yes, I took on d5. I was really asking for it in the game continuation that I played. So h6 looks much nicer. So that knight is very useful to just provoke f5. So g4 actually. So against f5 take and get the g file. So it's a nice knight on e4 again, prophylaxis. So there's several bits of prophylaxis here going on. If we outline them against the black counterplay, there's the pawn on c6 being left. There's this big knight on e4. So okay, leaving the knight on d5, which is the downside. It's reinforcing that knight with g4 against f5s. Now g5, 37.9%. So h5, bishop c4, and bishop can come to b3, I guess. So say rook ed8. I think I'm going to have to put prophylaxis as a major tip actually in a new tips video, because really, where's the black attack here? Where's this bishop's a bit confined. These pieces are starting to get a bit stuck. If it ever moves, then there's knight f6. So knight f4, take on e6 here, get rid of the bishop pair of black, and that should be okay. So that's the line. Now if we go back after d5, so I'd done something quite wrong here. I'd taken on d5, fine so far. So he took back, and I took on d5, 100%. Oh no I didn't. I took on c6, pardon me. That's queen d5. So it's taking on c6. But now, okay, so what did I do? I took on d5 here, but it wasn't to try and win the pawn, but I've got this wrong, because the c pawn is now giving black that, you know, it's not as prophylaxis as before. That pawn is better there because that's c file. And this isn't a move actually, bishop d4, it's not a move listed here. You would go in for queen d5, queen c7, offering the rook, because of this bishop f5 trick. Now I remember it. So the move here to stay in the game, otherwise you're giving black a good win percentage, is queen c5. So you don't take the rook, queen b7, pointing at b2. But I much prefer the other line. I don't like this file open on the c file. Queen A3. This looks like a David Howell game with the British Championship now. Queen A3, very theoretical. 27 games, and they'll say Bishop F5. But I don't like this blast, you know, these two bishops and the two rooks here. It looks pretty menacing stuff. Bishop D3, but apparently it's okay. Nicking that D5 pawn. Black seems to have a lot of counterplay here compared to the other line. So I play the other line. It's much easier to play, I think, for 5-minute chess or even long games. On this, you're tactically going to calculate and calculate. Oops, bit of a delay there. So rook A8, B3. I think this is all, I don't know, long strands of theory. But it's a reasonable win percentage for white. But I know I don't like this compared to the other line. Look at black's rooks and black's bishops. Quite menacing. But now you can take on F5. Is there an example game we can get into where someone actually played this? G takes F5. Rook D3 apparently is a good move. So Queen C6. And C4 played in 5 games. It's Queen C6 when that loads. So C4 here. It's too much counterplay for a 5-minute game. So I think I don't think Knight D5. I don't think I want to play ever Knight D5 again here in this position. Much prefer Bishop D4. Provoke E5, play Bishop C5, then play Knight E4, G4, H4, G5. That's quite a nice plan. Okay, comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.